Deep space can cause erectile dysfunction. If you're thinking of exploring deep space, it's worth noting that you might return from your adventures with a couple of body issues, one of which is being prone to erectile dysfunction. Some research funded by NASA found that there are two things which can possibly damage the function of erectile tissue, with some of these effects possibly lasting decades. The first of these is galactic cosmic rays, which are energetic particles that constantly bombard Earth. And the second is microgravity. Now, the reason this cosmic radiation doesn't really affect us here on Earth is because we're protected both by the magnetic field and the atmosphere. But when astronauts are on the moon or on Mars or in space, they don't have this same barrier. As the article notes here, on board the International Space Station, even though astronauts are still protected by the Earth's magnetic field, they're still exposed to as much radiation in a week that someone on the ground would be exposed to in a year. So back to the issue of male erectile dysfunction, how did researchers find this out? They used a few mammalian substitutes, aka rats, to look into the impact that spaceflight has on male physiology. NASA did not investigate female physiology at the same time, despite the fact that women do go into space and they do have erectile tissue to worry about. So the researchers did a whole bunch of experiments where they suspended the poor rats in harnesses at a 30-degree angle, which must have been really confusing for the rats, and they exposed them to simulated galactic cosmic rays. A year later, they analyzed the rat tissues and found that even low-level exposure to these rays increased something called oxidative stress in their bodies. And as a result, this damaged the function of the artery that supplies blood to the penis and erectile tissue. This method does beg the question whether it was being hung in a harness that was the biggest stress. But it appears there is a solution. Apparently, using some specific antioxidants to treat this problem actually seemed to improve the tissue function after the exposure to the galactic cosmic rays. So if you are planning a trip to Mars, you needn't feel too worried. Just stock up on the right antioxidants. Make sure to subscribe to our channel so that we can keep taking you on new and ever more interesting sex and space journeys.